Hey, Rick.
Hey,
We're coming up on the end of the year now.
I know, we got like 4 days left. Wait, the 26th? That's
5, I think, because it goes to the 31st.
Whatever,
Yeah.
fucking math. That's fine.
You got it.
I'm so ready for this year to be over with.
It has been a year.
Yeah. You know what would be nice? I need to go back home and look at my vision board from last year. We need to make a new vision board for this year.
Oh, that's a good idea. I love that.
Yeah. Cute. Okay. Anyways, I would like to go back and look at my vision board and see how accurate it was.
Yeah.
Maybe we predicted our future completely. That would be cool.
Maybe.
It's just a cool way to look back,
Yeah. I wonder if you predicted this podcast.
I don't think I did. But my motto for the year was I can and I will, so...
You can and you did.
I sure as fuck did.
Very true.
To that note, welcome back, all you sibling people, to us doing the damn thing. This is Sister Show Me How, a podcast, a place where we help you talk through all the real rough shit. I'm Rick Rold, host of Sister Show Me How, and your how-to sister.
And I'm embarrassed, your other how-to sister and co-host of Sister Show Me How.
Embarrassed?
I am embarrassed that you were Rick Rolled.
Damn! That got me right in the feels. I've been feeling some sort of way already. I have some stuff I want to get off my chest. And this was just like a stab to the heart when we start that.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're not. It's fine. I'm a little embarrassed too. My partner thought of this one, and I told him I would use it.
It is a good one.
And it's part of a stupid trend that bothers the fuck out of me. So it felt appropriate for our rant this time. Let's fucking rant.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Let's scream into the wind.
Okay, so the thing that pisses me off the most, and probably not like, I'm not over here like seething about it every day like men are with the Roman Empire, like...
Not the Roman Empire. Fuck.
But World War II fucked American society in so many ways. And I won't even get into the fact that World War II was just like a genocide and that's fucking bullshit to begin with. Mm-hmm. But we're not going to touch on that. Plenty of people are mad about that already for a lot of good reasons that we can't control. But I'm pissed off about the way that it fucked our society currently and continues to fuck our society.
Right, those repercussions have just fucking rolled their way.
They've rickrolled.
They rickrolled us. Oh my fucking god. Jesus.
Motherfuckers.
God damn.
So step one, why they piss me off. Reason one. It's not a step.
Yeah.
Reason one, and this is gonna sound really stupid, but fucking carrots.
I need a little bit more. Let's elaborate.
First of all, natural carrots are not orange.
Yeah, aren't they like a yellow?
There's purple, there's white, there's yellow. Orange is a mutation. Whatever. Also, a carrot has no more vitamin C than a fucking orange does. Mm-hmm. That's not actually good for your eyesight. It was just a very cheap vegetable for them to push on us, and they used the whole carrots are good for your eyesight in order to do that.
Speaking of vitamin C, that reminds me, everybody thinks vitamin C and they think of oranges, but oranges are not the ones that have the most vitamin C. That's another one.
Spinach has more vitamin C in it than a fucking orange does.
Yeah.
That's fucking vitamin C bullshit. Started with World War II, so you can thank Hitler for that.
Fuck. We're gonna get canceled today.
Yeah, we're gonna get canceled. If we're gonna get canceled, it's gonna be on this episode.
I feel that.
I don't fucking care. Okay. I don't fucking care. Okay, reason number 2. Moving out at 18 is World War II propaganda. Yeah.
I don't know why I'm surprised, but like...
Well, here's the thing. Since all the men who were the normal people who were buying houses, right, were going off to war, they had to get the ones who weren't allowed to go to war, the 17-year-olds, the teenagers, to introduce themselves into the housing market. So before World War II, it was normal for you to live with your aunts and your grandparents and your cousins and stuff. It was normal to have a more like grand scale nuclear family still living within the home. But then the whole housing market crashed because everyone was going off war, so they were like, hey, you are grown now, get your own house, move out,
right? You
increase
don't have
the
to
housing
stay
market.
under your parents' thumb. You can like go do your own thing. Yeah,
Exactly.
because like it totally used to be that until you like got married and were gonna like start your own family, that you stayed in the house with, like you said, either your parents or your aunts and uncles or whatever.
Absolutely.
So.
And honestly, we are a community species. Like, we're not intended to be individualistics. We're pack animals. Like, I don't know, you may think that you're above an animal, but you still have all animal instincts and you have animal traits, and guess what? You're still a mammal. So we have animalistic traits, and being within a pack is part of that because it's essential to our growth.
Yeah.
What we're doing is becoming lonely little shitheels, and it's all because of World War II.
Yeah. I feel like that also like fucking affects how people react to like disasters and stuff or wars, where like it's so easy to separate yourself from that stuff because we already don't have like a community mindset anymore. Like, moved into this neighborhood, I don't know a single one of my neighbors. Like, that's not a normal thing to do anymore. Like, I lived with a roommate in college. She would go introduce herself to people whenever she moved in. I mean, like, hey, like, I just moved in. And we were, like, friends with our neighbors.
That's kind of sweet.
It was great. Like, we literally had one girl who lived above us who, like, came down one night. Our dogs got into a fight, and she came down to check and make sure we were okay. Aww. It was really nice. And I'm like, sweet. I feel like that's, like, we should do more of that. You know?
Yeah, well...
I mean, to a certain extent.
No, I totally agree with you. And you're right, yeah, to a certain extent, because it could get dangerous to, like, know people. But also, it could be dangerous to know people just from the sake of, like, I might get my heart broken if I fall in love with these people. You know what I mean? So, like, everything is potentially dangerous. And I feel like the risk of introducing yourself to your neighbors is worth the reward. Yes. Everything is a risk. And, like, you just have to determine whether or not that risk is worth it or not.
Yeah.
The next thing that World War II fucked with us about...
I already know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, because we fucking talked about it on this pod before already. Women's beauty standards. I know that not only women listen to this pod. I get it that some of you brothers are out there are like, what the fuck do I care? But listen, beauty standards for everyone got fucked up when they fucked with women's beauty standards. You want to know why? Because your idea of what you think you like is now shifted into what World War II made you think you like. How's that? You're being brainwashed by World War II societal issues. Do you like that? We don't either. That's why I don't shave my legs anymore. But
valid.
The whole reason that those shifted was because, again, in World War II, all the men are off to war. They're not buying razors. They don't fucking care if their face is shaved or not. They're dying on the battlefield. Yep. So the razor companies need someone else to buy their razors. And who else is hairy? Women! Let's make them feel shame for having hairy pits, even though it's totally natural and wicking sweat away from our body and wicking bacteria away from our genitalia, but whatever. Let's make them feel bad about that and make them think that they need to hold on to their 5-year-old body selves and shave everything bare naked. Whatever, I've already gone on a rant about this one, so I'll keep this one shorter. You know how I feel about it already. It's fucking stupid.
Oh my god, yeah. and icky.
Yeah, whatever. Moving on.
What you got next?
Cars. And the fact that, one, that's a large asset for us to have. You know what I mean? Many of us are paying as much, if not more, for our cars in total than we are in rent. Like, my literal car payment is like $300. My insurance is then another $200. That's $500. That's $100 less than my portion of rent. And by my portion, I mean that I share rent with someone else because I live with my partner. But still, that's fucking...
It's a big chunk of change.
Yeah, it is. And the motherfuckers depreciate the second you drive them off the lot.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Not only is that fucking disgusting, because we just invested so much fucking money into that, it's also a huge red flag as to, like, why capitalism is fucking us.
Also, the fact that, like, America is just about the only country in the world that uses cars as the, like, majority transportation. Like, we are one of the only countries in the world that does not have a set up public transportation in most of our cities. Like, outside of New York with the subway system, we've got nothing. And so, like, that affects the way that our cities have developed. I took a class in college. That's the way that our cities have developed, the way that we have all of this urban sprawl, the way that our downtowns have developed, and then, like, all of the road and highway systems across the U.S. and just, like, it's, again, one of those things that it started out way back when and has had a ripple effect through the rest of, like, the way that the U.S. has developed.
Yeah, absolutely. And, well, and our society, not just, like, you know, the U.S. as a construction, but as us as people, because it adds to our hyper-individualism. When we're not on the same buses together, we're not interacting with our community, we're not recognizing that there are other people in those cars. We're just seeing those cars as cars that are, like, nuisances to us while we're on the road. You know what I mean? So it's added to this whole hyper-individualism where we stop recognizing each other as people.
And it's also really pushed capitalism because part of the way that the cities with city sprawl, you don't have walkable areas. So that's why little mom and pop shops can barely make it most of the time, because you're not walking around and being like, that's a cute little fucking place. I'm going to check that out tomorrow. I'm going to give myself an extra 10 minutes on my walk to work and I'm going to check that out. You know, like, you don't see that.
And also, I don't know if you knew this, I just realized it the other day, but you know how some restaurants are rated by, like, a Michelin rating? It's a fucking tire company.
Yeah, it's the same one. It's just like Hershey has, or Nestle chocolate, like hot cocoa, all of that stuff. They do water bottles.
Well, no, what I mean is, like, they were rated, like, that car company rated these restaurants according to how worthy they were of driving to that restaurant. And that's where that Michelin rating comes from. Yes, that's where that Michelin rating comes from.
I never put that together. I just thought it was, like, this big capitalist system. Because, like, also, again, in the U.S., there's, like, 6 major companies that own everything.
Everything, yeah, I know, it's fucking stupid.
So that's what I thought was the deal with Michelin. I didn't realize that it was literally a rating on fucking, like, depreciating your tires to drive to this restaurant.
Yeah, like, how good is that restaurant compared to how far you have to drive to get there?
Good God.
I fucking know. Yeah. I told you we were gonna get mad this time.
I don't like that.
Yeah, but that just adds to my next little baby rant, is just capitalism in general.
Oh my God, dude. Same.
I just, like, the whole pay to play construct of life is absolutely fucking revolting. I want all of you to know, if you're listening to this and you're involved in some sort of government, I want to know it's fucking revolting the way you have this system set up. This is disgusting. People are not products. And the fact that we are being treated like that as a goddamn society is fucking disgusting. And you should all be ashamed. All of you. And your mamas too, because fuck that bullshit. She should have taught you better. This is shit. The fact that we are still, as a society, breeding into capitalism, even though we know it's making us lonelier, it's making us depressed, it's making us anxious, it's making us isolated, it's detaching us from our true home and our true purposes, which is being in love with the land and living on the land and helping the land and all of its life move forward into a better future. That's what we're supposed to be doing. And the fact that we are chasing fucking money, which is my next rant, money period, is fucking, I'm literally shaking. It makes me so mad.
Capitalism, like the older I get and the more I learn about stuff, the more I realize how much shit is just propaganda.
Yeah, it's they're just fucking with us.
Like the whole thing about like socialism and communism and stuff, they make it seem like it is this evil thing that destroys people, and you have like no sense of self and no free choice within your own life within those communities.
And that's not true.
That's not true. It's all fucking propaganda because they don't want people to realize how fucked capitalism is, because once we realize, we the people who have the money that are spending into capitalism can fucking change. And you know what? It only takes like 3%. 3%, which is like 11 million people, which sounds like a lot, but in the US, 3% is 11 million people. So 11 million people need to get their shit together and be like, you know what? We're not doing this anymore. And that's all it takes to make major influence is 3% of a community.
But you know what? I genuinely think that we're getting there. There are so many people that are out there like us who are starting to look at farmers markets for their groceries, who are starting to really pay attention to where their dollar is going and using their dollar as a vote, because that's what it is. Every time you spend a cent anywhere, you are voting for that company to continue to have power.
Yeah, and I know, like, it has made me really angry when I've tried to boycott things before, and that's when I discovered that there's like 6 major companies that own everything. But like, it doesn't matter. Like, Starbucks right now has a major boycott going on, and they've already lost like $11 million in profit.
Good.
And so, like, they're starting to feel it. Like, I can tell every time I get an advertisement on my phone, it pops up, and it's always something about, like, get something free.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to get people to come back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, people are figuring it out. But, like, oh, my God, sometimes it really feels... Because, again, all we're fed is propaganda, and all we see on the news is the bad shit. And so, like, it can make you feel crazy.
Yeah, and it does, very clearly.
Yeah, us over here like, oh my God.
We're like fucking shaking, tweaking out.
We're like rabid dogs over here like,
Next on my list is, and I feel like capitalism breeds this behavior, entitlement.
Oh my God.
And further than, like, entitlement is the issue within, like, lay people that I see that's a problem, you know what I mean? Like, I can't fucking stand when people think that they're entitled to, like, another person's space, or they're entitled to act a certain way because they have a certain standard or a certain standing in society. Or, you know, I'm a Karen at the grocery store, and because you're a cashier, like, I can treat you like shit. Or, you know, I'm a Chad at the fucking bar, and because you're a hot bartender, I can talk about your ass and your tits, and like, that's okay because I'm paying you, right? Like, it's that kind of entitlement that pisses me off in the normal public. But even further than that, entitlement in celebrities. Like, my partner and I were literally talking about, and I'm sorry about this, but we were talking about the Super Mario Brother movie, right? And we were talking about a lot of the voice actors in there. And some of them really tried, and it's obvious. You can tell which actors gave a shit and put effort into these characters to make the characters the character, rather than just giving that character their own voice so that you would recognize that they were the fucking celebrity who was playing that. Like, it just dawned on me that a lot of these fucking celebrities have no real talent.
Well, and that, like, it goes along with nepotism. That's something we could rant about. That's, like, I feel like also... I'm sure in other communities that outside of capitalism that would be still a thing. Right. But capitalism definitely feeds that a lot.
Yeah.
And I think also, like, there's this idea, and I don't know if this is truly from capitalism or what, but, like, this idealization of celebrities.
Yes.
Like, the fucking cult following.
I don't understand.
The Kardashians, I will fucking bitch about them until I die, probably. Because I'm like, What do they
What did you do?
You just get fucking plastic surgery and like somebody in your family was like friends with or married to O.J. Simpson or some shit, and all of a sudden you guys are like ultra fucking famous and ultra fucking rich and like don't deserve it?
This is my problem with that, is not only are they talentless and not worthy of the stage that they are getting, and I'm not just talking about the Kardashians, okay? I mean a lot of these fucking celebrities. Let's not sit here and isolate it only to the Kardashians, because they are only a symptom of the problem,
oh my God,
right?
Yeah. I feel like they're just,
not only are they talentless and undeserving of the stage that they have, but then they are also doing harm while they are on the stage. Like the Kardashians, they're warping beauty standards for women. They're fucking it all up.
Oh my God.
Right? And then there are other people up there who are using their power to abuse people who are lower than them, who are manipulating the public into thinking that stupid shit is real, or like, you know, conspiracy theories or shit, and like using their influence to drive political agendas that have no fucking purpose even being on the table. And so it's like, if you're a celebrity and you're not using your power to move humanity forward in a positive, uplifting way, then get off the fucking stage.
Right.
Because you're wasting our goddamn time and you're an embarrassment to our humanity and to our species. Like, oh my fucking God, do something with your lives or get off the fucking stage.
Mm-hmm. No, like influencers? Oh my God, influencers are a whole other level with that as well, because it's like, you know, especially like some of these people, how they got popular, I don't know.
Because of some fucking dance move.
Or like they were already rich and they have this beautiful apartment and they drive this idea of like having this perfect aesthetic or whatever, and it's like, then they're over here and like there's all of this shit going on with humanity, and I'm like, do something.
Right.
Say something.
Right. Or even like, more so on the point of influencers, some of them are just plain manipulating us. Like some of them are not actually living these fancy rich lives. They're literally in a building that is decked out to look like an airplane.
I'm all like literally convinced that like most of these like celebrity like influencers that have gotten big and have like millions of followers, I'm convinced that like if they weren't already rich before, they're actually broke.
Yeah.
Or in like a shit ton of debt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just fucking bizarre to me. Like, the idea that we're pushing forward that the only people we admire to be are the rich and wealthy, and like only because we want shit. Like, it's just capitalism, obviously, putting its dirty ass little finger into our society and trying to make us think that like that's goals. But
yeah.
Fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna need a fucking drink after this podcast. You know what? That's what we should have done. We should have done fucking alcohol with this. Should we get alcohol? Let's get alcohol.
We'll be right back. Cheers. To rants.
To the rest of this bullshit.
Oh, God.
Okay, so now that I have gone on about the celebrities and capitalism, all that it ties together, I'm sorry, I have to do this. I know we said we weren't going to dog on religions, but as a former Christian member, I have to dog on the Christian church a little bit. And I don't mean like, just to clarify for any Christians who are listening to us, we still love you. We hold your religion against you, not at all. My point is that the church oftentimes acts like a fucking child, and not just a misbehaved child, but an intentionally problematic shithead child. And that is the problem that I have with that. Yeah. Specifically, the shame society that is put on a lot of the members of the church, on the audience.
Especially
what is because
called?
The congregation.
The congregation.
See, I told you I was an ex-Christian. I know all the words.
Especially though, like with the shame society, I feel like religions as a concept are supposed to be like explaining how the world works,
right?
Answering questions that like we don't have answers to, and like bolstering us up with dealing with the harsh realities that is life,
right?
And so having this like fear-mongering, like shame society about like you're gonna go to hell if you don't like if you're not the perfect Christian, and like all of that, just like
it's a fucking slap in the face to what religion is supposed to be.
And it's like literally traumatizing to people. Like, again, like there are Christians who have a beautiful religion and who are like love God and like have a beautiful faith, but like
and congratulations to you.
Yes. But there are like those of us who grew up in a church society where we were shamed for not doing things correctly, not having the perfect family, like just like as a child to grow up being told from a very young age that you're going to hell is absolutely traumatizing.
It absolutely is. And the idea that like, okay, just a little backstory. I ran to the church for sanctuary when I was living in a foster home that was abusive. And the woman that I lived with actually worked for the church that I went to. And so I went to our pastor to seek help. I had been recording all of the things that was happening. I had been keeping a log of all of the ways that, she was neglecting us or that she was stealing from the church. And I came to him with these things. And as a sophomore in high school, so like 17 years old, 16 years old, fucking useless in the world, helpless, and coming to him with all of everything that I had. And he tells me during Sunday school that I have 2 days to get out before he tells her and fires her. Does not give me any assistance on where to go, does not tell me.
So really didn't give a shit about you, was just like, oh my God, this bitch was stealing from the church, so she's got to be fired. But like, screw the foster kid who needed a guardian and a place to live.
Right, and listen, this woman was convicted of identity theft. She tried to burn down her ex-husband's house using her children. Like, we knew this woman was a volatile woman and he still gave me no assistance. God. So am I maybe holding the actions of one man against an entire church? Possibly. Clearly, however, I have not worked through it all.
There are plenty of experiences that I know that other people have had that have also made them ex-evangelical church members, Christians, like this is not a one-time thing. And again, maybe we're holding a few instances against an entire religion, but I don't think we are, because there are certain like Christian specific things that have happened as like a majority type thing,
right?
Where
we've seen the same thing.
Like the religion itself, as a modern adaptation of how it started, has become corrupt,
very warped. Yeah,
and it's like it's no longer this thing that is supposed to be this loving, accepting thing that people turn to for solace. It's now turned into this ugly creature that's trying to put on a shit ton of makeup and pretend like it's a beauty queen.
Right. Yeah, you're right. That's a good example for that, because you're right. Maybe it feels like in this moment we're holding a few experiences against the whole, but I will say that it's not like we haven't continued to have these experiences with other members of the church. It's not
as an adult.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like these ideas have not continued to be reiterated and revalidated for us. One of the things that I have a big issue with is like the hypocrisy of it all, and within not only the people who run the leadership of the church, but also within the congregation of the church, and like the words that are being spoken and the messages that are being received. Obviously, it's not all of them, but all of these TV broadcast churches and all this shit, it's just like, it's so, to me, obvious that this is manipulation, that this is a control tactic, that this is just complete railroading bullshit. But a lot of people don't see that. And they believe this shit, and they shame themselves for it, and that's where I have the problem.
Others,
and
that's
they shame
a big
others.
thing. Is I'm like, I think that's another thing. Is like, I think a religious is a very intimate thing.
Yes.
Religion. There we go. Is a very like self and intimate thing.
Right.
It is not something that you should be using to manipulate and exploit others.
Right.
And so like. Yeah, I'm like, they use it to shame people. They use it to try and scare people. They use it as like an excuse for why they're like not accepting of people or like, you know, and so often what is brought up as a backbone to the Christian argument of something being wrong is, well, it's in the Bible or the Bible says. And it's like, the Bible is guidance. Because before it was
if we're being
even,
nice. If we're being nice, it's guidance.
Yeah, because before it was even written down, it was word of mouth by so long. We have actual proof that it's been convoluted because there are previous interpretations.
It was retranslated by fucking kings. If you don't think that's propaganda, your eyes are not open.
It's the same thing as fucking textbooks. Like, textbooks I just got into one. Textbooks literally, like, let's talk about slavery in the U.S., we have pictures of like Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King in textbooks in black and white. And that makes us feel like those pictures are from a long, long, long time ago. Rosa Parks was born after my father.
No shit?
Yes.
Really?
My father was older than Rosa Parks.
I know that all this went down in the 50s, and that was not that long ago.
No, but they make us think, because, like, you know, we're kids. We obviously, as young people, we automatically think that people who are not that old are already really old, and so we think we don't have a good concept of time.
Right.
So they use these black and white pictures as propaganda when they have color versions. Not that they need to be reworked into color. They already have the color ones. They print them in black and white on purpose to make it seem like those happened hundreds of years ago.
What is the purpose of that?
To make us feel disconnected from it and like it's not an issue that it's not an issue that we need to think about anymore.
Oh, that's fucked.
Yeah.
Wow. That's really smart though. I mean, you almost have to give them kudos for like being genius
I absolutely
with their
do, because like the propaganda that goes down is like so subtle that of course we don't see it. Like, I totally understand, like, I'm not gonna shit on you for not knowing these things, because I mean, we didn't know these things for a long time either.
Right.
But like, once you start to notice these things, you need to be putting in the effort to at least have an open mind and question.
Yeah.
That is all
bare
I'm
minimum.
saying. Is like, when you hear things, instead of just being like, yeah, totally, gotcha, be like, okay, wait a second, who's saying this?
Right.
What do they have to gain?
Yes, that's exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Follow the money. Mm-hmm. Why is this being put out? What is their agenda?
Right.
And then, you know, once you figure out what the agenda is, like, try to see if you actually identify with that or not. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Is it actually just a ploy to manipulate you, or are they trying to actually give you valid information that you need to know?
Right. Yeah.
I feel like a fucking high school teacher every time I say some shit like this, but it's like...
Check your fucking sources. If it's on Facebook, go Google that shit. Find a couple articles that are written by reputable, like, news sources and read those. Don't just be like, yeah, I saw it on Facebook. This is truth. This is law.
Right.
Like, just double check.
Right. And we shouldn't have to say this, but I'm going to anyways. Fox News is not a reputable news host.
No, it's been proven over and over again that they are manipulated by... certain money sources, to the point where they have fired people for saying things that they deemed not within their brand.
Ugh. Those people make
AKA
news.
The truth.
Yeah, they try to make news, okay? They don't actually report on news. Mm-hmm. It's fucking ridiculous. It's all brainwashing.
Yeah.
And Again, I'm not even sorry about breaking your bubble with that one.
Not to shit just on Fox News. Other news sources do this too, but Fox News is the one that seems to do it and they're the worst, the biggest culprit.
Literally record lawsuit against them and how much money they had to shell out for their defamation of a goddamn voting system poll. So like, if anyone is not a news, it's Fox, and they get to be the definition of fake news. Like if you open a goddamn dictionary and say fake news, Fox News is the definition of that.
Yeah, seriously.
Sorry about you, except I'm not at all. My last point on why Christianity is a fuckhole is the removal of power from self. The idea that God is separate from your person is ludicrous, is ridiculous, is a manipulation of your power. They're trying to siphon it away from your being and give it to some outside daddy.
Well, and not just that, but there's so much of like, it's God's will, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, God has already like laid out this path for you. And it, like, it sort of, it takes away like your free will also of like, you know, whatever choice you make, God has already planned out for you. And it's like, no, I'm pretty sure we have free will. Yeah. Because otherwise you can't explain like half of the shit that we do.
It's just stupid.
Yeah.
Okay. That's me getting off of my Christianity soapbox. Because that one wore me out a little bit. What have you got? Do you have anything on here?
I have a couple of things.
Let's see what you got. I want to take a break for a second.
All right. All right. Let me get ready.
Yeah.
Wow, that was upsetting.
There.
Okay. So my first one is the 8-hour workday and the 40-hour work week.
That's a good one.
My God, it makes me so fucking angry because, so this was introduced by Henry Ford in 1926.
Oh my fucking God. Of course it was.
At the Ford Motor Company. But, okay, not to hate on Henry Ford too much because there was actual research at the time that showed that this made people more productive. However, here's the thing. This is based off of people working in production lines. Physical manual labor, working in production lines. It was literally to keep people safe because it was actually cutting back on working hours at that point. Okay. And so it was like helping people not be sleep deprived. And so the studies were showing that at that time with the type of work that was happening, this was helping people not be sleep deprived. It was helping them be more productive. And it showed that like the 8-hour workday with like 8 hours of sleep was like the ideal working situation. And it like, this established like the weekend and everything when you had off, and like that was when you had off and everything. And so, you know, at the time it made a lot of sense. Here's the thing. This is not something that can translate to modern day society when the majority of workers now are office workers. Yeah. So now studies show that office workers have typically, on average, 12 productive hours per week.
And we're there for 40. So we're just wasting their time.
That translates that when you're sitting in your fucking office, you have less than 3 hours a day that you're truly productive.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fucking insane.
Yeah, we're just wasting their time.
We're wasting so much time, and we're literally living our lives, again, in this capitalist fucking society, giving up the best years of ourselves to fucking corporate America or whoever the fuck you're working for. You are donating your time to these people, and they are giving you crumbs of what they're making for you to spend all of your good waking hours slaving away for them, and then you're tired when you come home and you don't get to focus on yourself. Also,
this is why we're drinking.
Also, this system was also set up in a time when it was designed for a typical heterosexual family with one breadwinner. So one person, the man, went to work.
Not the eye roll.
The man went to work and made all the money, and the wife stayed home and kept the house neat. It is not set up for today's society where typically both partners work, right? Man or woman or other. Not set up for both people to work. That's already hard enough, but especially if you are a single person like myself, by the time you get home, like I was supposed to, as the woman, have spent 8 hours of my day while hubby goes off to work, keeping the house clean, doing the dishes, vacuuming, watering the plants, wiping down the counters, cleaning out the fridge, making the food, all of that. That was supposed to happen while the one person was at work.
Right.
So all of that time, if you are a single person or if you and your partner both work and you guys come home and you're like, man, the house is fucking dirty, we can't keep up with stuff, it's so hard to keep on top of things, it's because this system was not made for us. It was made for somebody to stay home full time. All of the house chores were supposed to be a full-time job in themselves.
Yeah.
So, like, the fact, also, if you have a partner who works and you stay home and they think that you're sitting on your ass all day, but your house is fucking clean and you have food on the table, fuck them. They do not respect you. Fuck that person. Leave them. Anyways. Also, if you are a single parent who has children added into this equation, because I haven't talked about children within this yet.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing.
Oh my God, you are the most amazing person in this world, because I can't even take care of myself and the house and work.
Yeah.
Like, it is so hard.
Yeah. Genuinely, I am ashamed a little bit to say that I have not thought about that. I am only now recognizing that my mother was a single mom raising 2 children, working full-time, and dealing with a post-separation abuser.
Mm-hmm.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, she's strong as fuck because she made it through that. Like,
yeah, no wonder she made us do so many chores. She was like, I'm fucking tired. You little shits do it. You made the mess.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
Oh my God.
Thanks, Ma. That shit fucking sucked, I'm sure. Fuck.
Yeah.
And that's why I have no children. So, yeah.
Yeah.
What else do you have, my love?
Okay. Speaking of children, the idea that children need to go directly from high school into college.
Yeah.
We're asking 18-year-old, 17-year-old, however old, around that area, children, to pick a career for the rest of their lives. First of all, I'm not even going to get into the fact that, like, we put way too much stake into a college degree anyways.
And that it's a total fucking scam.
Yeah.
It's literally like a product that they sell us. And
there are so many degrees that, like, I'm sorry, you don't need to go to school for those. At least not college. Like, why are we making people go into, like, billions of dollars in debt, essentially, to go and get a degree that is potentially worthless? All it is a piece of paper saying that you are malleable
enough
to the group decisions of what was worthy to learn.
Yeah.
We are taking the individualistic things that make us us and saying, no, standardized testing. Let's do that instead.
Yeah. The fact that they even make you do, like, general education classes while you're in college.
Right? And electives.
Period. Yeah, like, that's ridiculous. I'm paying for these classes. There should be no requirement on all these other stupid fucking classes.
Especially after you just took all of that gen ed in high school and had to take exams to prove that you knew the fucking material, and then you have to redo it when you get to college.
You would think we're still in college with how angry we're getting about this.
We're not. It's just that
we're still paying our loans.
We're still paying our loans. And we're mad because both of us got degrees in something that you've already decided and you've already made the switch, but something that, at least on my end, I'm not sure was worth it because I don't really love my career.
Yeah, I know it wasn't worth it.
But yeah, if people don't have a degree, it's like, oh, you didn't go to college. You couldn't make it to college. Like, no, those bitches were probably smarter than us because they were like, also, most of these degrees, like for you and me, architecture, never used to be a degree. Nope. You would just go and learn. There were apprenticeships and you would go and learn on the job. And like, why can't we do that anymore? Because you can't pay them as much because they don't know or it's a waste of money to pay. Oh my God, capitalism. Fuck.
Yeah, it's always
full circle again.
It's always
I'm so tired.
I'm so tired. See, and that's what capitalism does to you. It waves your ass out. But you're right. College is dumb.
Well, and then we kind of circled to just hating on college, but my point was really just the transition directly from high school to college. My point is I really think that trade schools, excellent. I went to a trade school before I went to college. Highly recommend. I learned so much. And it was so great. And a lot of them, if you go while you're either in college or like the first 2 years after college, at least in the area that we're in, they're free or seriously discounted. Can't talk anymore. So like trade schools I think are great. Also, we need more people in the trades.
Yeah.
And then another thing is I think take a gap year. Go and work for a while. Travel if you can. Like, I really think everybody should have at least a year that they've worked in a service industry.
Facts.
Bare
minimum.
Yeah. Learn to respect those people.
Yeah.
But yeah, like take like a gap year and figure out what you want to do. Because I can almost guarantee that if I had taken time after school to learn more about myself, because I'm not going to lie, when I graduated high school, I didn't know who I was.
None of us do. Our prefrontal cortex is not even fucking developed yet all the way. Like, none of us know what the fuck we're doing. To ask us to make a lifelong decision is fucking ridiculous at best.
Well,
at
and
best.
You're coming out of, I think, like most people, if you went to a public school in the U.S., there's very much this idea of like, you know, popular people and cliques and everything. So you're coming out of this place where it was highly stressful. It was a rough time for you. You were probably just trying to fit in.
And survive.
And survive. And so like coming out, like you don't know who you are. And so then you're like making these, lifelong decisions that like are probably going to be wrong. Because I think I should have looked up the statistics, but there's like a certain percentage of people, that change their major at least once, if not twice. I think twice is the average number of changes to your degree path when you're in college.
Did you ever change yours?
No.
I didn't either. I was too scared. I was like, I don't want to be here any longer
I
than 4 years.
remember I have this very vivid memory of going home to my parents' house in my third year of college to like have dinner or something. And I remember I'm feeling okay when I go over there. Like I'm not like, of course I'm sleep deprived and like stressed as normal.
And I haven't eaten. I'm running on coffee and cigarettes.
Probably. Because I mean, it was college, let's be honest. Like I was never fully fine, but I was okay. Like I wasn't feeling a mental breakdown. And I get to my parents' house and we have dinner and, you know, we're sitting around chit-chatting and like my mom's like, how are you doing? I'm like, I'm okay. And she's like, are you really? I just break down. I completely lose it.
Oh, that's all it took.
Yeah. Was for her to be like, are you really okay?
Are you sure?
Yeah. I just a mental fucking breakdown out of nowhere in my mind. Obviously it had been brewing, but like
yeah. That's all it took to break the dam.
Had a panic attack.
Oh.
My mom is like, change majors. You don't have to do this.
Oh.
And I was like, I don't have a backup plan. I don't know what I would do instead.
Yeah.
And that's why I stayed in architecture. And I look back so often and I'm like, what if I had done something different? What if I had changed? And my other thing was I was like, I've put 3 years into this degree that is so niche as far as the classes that none of those will transfer except for like one.
Chemistry, maybe.
I didn't even take chemistry.
Oh my God, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay, what else have you got on your list, babe?
Okay, more capitalism. Yay!
Oh God, here we go again.
Grocery stores are designed for families. They're not designed for single people. The portions that I buy almost always go bad before I can eat them because they are designed for multiple people. They're not designed for one person.
You know, I hadn't thought about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Although,
that's not to say that there aren't things that you can buy, like apples and stuff. You could buy a single apple.
Right.
But like a bunch of stuff is portioned out for multiple people. Like a can of beans. Oh my God, that's way too much for me unless I'm going to eat whatever I'm making with that for the whole week.
Yeah. See, and that's kind of where that's like a gray area for me about whether I'm mad about it or not, because on one hand, if we made more individualized prepackaged food, that's a lot more waste.
It's a lot more waste. It's a lot more plastic.
Right. And so,
but
like,
also,
I'm not sure that's...
on the flip side, it's kind of the same amount of waste. It's just not plastic. It's food. Like, the amount of times
that's true too.
that I have shit go bad in my fridge, I'm cleaning my fridge out every week with stuff that has gone bad because I haven't been able to eat it in time.
Interesting.
I know I had more, but I don't think that this is updated.
I have on here idolization of politicians.
Oh, yeah. So similar to celebrities, we really look at politicians as like these high standards and like get really like worshipy and stuff, and like it's weird. Like, these are people, they're supposed to be civil servants. And we put them on the same sort of platforms that we put celebrities on. And like,
these fucking people are acting like the Kim Kardashians of the world. Fucking...
It's weird.
Let me just blast two of you right now. Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert. You're fucking embarrassing us.
Oh my God.
Not just as women, not just as people of the American citizens, but as a species. You're embarrassing us.
Yeah, it's
Please
really
go
gross.
home, reevaluate your character, and then come back when you can present a much more decent, mature individual, okay?
Well, and I think that's part of the reason why we have people like that who end up in these platforms, is because people who actually potentially are really good leaders aren't gonna want those same sort of like pedestals and like this like worshipy bullshit that it is. Like, that's why we get these people. A lot of it, I think, is people running because they have such an inflated sense of self.
Egos.
Yeah.
I.e. Trump.
And we keep giving it to them.
Yeah.
Because we keep sitting here and we're like, oh my God, like, you know, we basically, it's turned into this thing where you pick the person that you want to vote for and you can't ever criticize them. It's always just like this idea of like, they're perfect. Like, you voted for them, they're perfect. And it's like, no, we need to look at them and be like, you and I align the most on views, but there are still things that I disagree with.
Right.
Nobody's perfect. Why are we idealizing these people and turning them into fucking celebrities? And why are we paying them like celebrities?
Yeah.
They should be getting what the average wage is for the state that they're representing.
Absolutely. Maybe then they would give a shit about what the minimum wage is. And
Yeah.
you know what? Honestly, I kind of feel bad that I only called out women. Let's see, who else sucks? Jim Jordan, you fucking suck.
Mitch McConnell.
Mitch McConnell.
Let's also talk about, while we're talking about politicians, the amount of time that senators can fucking stay in the fucking Senate. And also, if you had to sign, I'm going to speak ill of the dead, if you had to sign power of attorney over to your daughter and you still were on the fucking Senate or House, or I don't know what position she was, but my God, she signed power, I don't know her name either. She signed power of attorney over to her daughter and still sat and people were sitting there being like, vote yes.
Yeah, that's just irresponsible. If you cannot make your own cognitive decisions.
Mitch McConnell's with his fucking little mini strokes up there, like, bitch, go to your nursing home, get your medicine, and sit in your wheelchair.
Yeah,
God.
It's time to step down.
Oh my God.
I won't say that there's a specific age for that, because everyone's mental deterioration happens at a different point.
Yes.
But when it is obvious to everyone in the room and yourself, it's time to rest. And there is no shame in that. There's no shame in realizing I'm too fucking old for this. It's time for me to take a day. It's time for me to take a day, take a nap, and step down. You know what I mean? But regardless, again, there's no age cap for that. But when you know, and everyone else knows too. And it's time to stop.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
But politicians in general, just stop embarrassing us. You're there to serve humanity. You are there to lift us and shift us into a better future.
Also,
you are not there to fuck us without lube, because guess what? Sex is supposed to be fun and you're fucking us and this is not fun anymore.
Also, you are supposed to represent us, which means that our ideas, you're supposed to push forward.
Also, the way that they have gerrymandered all of the states.
Oh yeah, the Electoral College. Should we talk about that?
Honestly, maybe not. Let's just Add it to the list of things that we're ranting about. Say that gerrymandering is fucked and then move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And since this is going on air the day after Christmas, I'm going to use that as a segue to my next rant. Secular holidays are trash. First of all, Christmas was stolen from the pagans. Easter was stolen from the pagans. What else was stolen from the pagans? Thanksgiving was stolen from the fucking Native Americans. That's a bullshit excuse.
Okay. No, we didn't steal the holiday. We stole their fucking land and their lives. We're celebrating a genocide.
Never participating in Thanksgiving ever again. That was a brilliant way of putting that, and I feel fucked for ever participating in it to begin with.
I know. I first heard that this year, and I was like, I kind of feel physically ill.
It might just be the alcohol, but I am a little hot right now.
I literally, I had already gotten to the point where I was like, I don't love Thanksgiving already because we did steal this land, and that's what we're giving thanks for. Like, that's how it started.
Right.
And, this whole, taught in schools, the Pilgrims and Indians came together and,
such a bullshit fallacy.
That is
where
fiction.
Did that happen?
That is fiction.
Who were these people?
None of that happened. Fuck that. Pilgrims what? No, fuck that. No, just complete fiction. That is fiction.
So stupid.
I didn't really put it together until this year. Somebody said that, or I heard it somewhere, and I was like,
yeah, I'm done.
Oh, I feel real gross.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just also feel like capitalism, here we go again, has taken over all of these holidays as well. You know what I mean? Christmas is no longer, I don't give a shit
It
what
never
you say.
used to be about presents.
Yeah.
Gifts were not a big Christmas thing.
No.
Until, I don't know when this happened. I don't know when the change was. But yeah, that's a capitalism thing.
Yeah, and the fact that we lie to our children about the Easter Bunny, about Santa Claus. Okay, that's my thing too. If these are supposed to be Christian holidays, right? Christmas is supposed to be...
coming up with Santa and the Easter Bunny. And
You want to know why? Because of fucking paganism. Because the Easter Bunny is supposed to represent fertility, which is the time of spring, because duh, everyone's fucking during the spring, because why would you not?
And also because animals usually do.
Well, right. When I said everybody, I meant everybody.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure we're on the same page.
Everybody. The bees are fucking, the frogs are fucking, the cows are fucking, the people are fucking. Everyone's fucking during the springtime. Wow, that made me kind of dizzy. This margarita is...
cut off?
This margarita is good shit. So if you meet me on the street and you say Merry Christmas to me, I will just say, yeah.
Because I always go for the happy holidays. That started way back when I first started working in customer service. We were not told to say that, but somebody had said something about you wanted to be inclusive, and I also grew up with friends who didn't celebrate Christmas. They celebrated other holidays during that time because they were different religions, and so I said happy holidays. Somebody got mad at me once.
That's the most ridiculous thing. I knew you were going to say that too, because I've had people get it too. Don't you happen to holidays? It's Merry Christmas. Put the Christ back in Christmas. And I'm like, no, fuck you. Christmas is about Santa anyways. There's no Christ involved in
Christ supposedly was born in June.
Hey! That's another thing. And you fucking Christians know it too.
Yes!
You know he wasn't born in Christmas and you still pull this shit, and that pisses me off.
Yeah. If you go back to the history books and fucking look it up,
you know that shit.
There's documentation.
I know you're wrong and you're still enforcing that bullshit.
And
that
bringing it, okay, Christmas trees? Christmas trees?
Yeah, that's pagan.
Please just go look up Yule. Look up the Yule celebration. It is a beautiful celebration, and look at all of the decorations and all of the traditions, and think about what y'all do on Christmas.
This is my rant, you guys. Okay, here's the thing. Yule is about celebrating the evergreen. He is the king of winter.
There's still life in winter.
Exactly. That's what he represents, is that even though this is a time of rest and this is a time where everything else dies and it's supposed to be the symbolism of rebirth, the king evergreen shows us that things still live, that things still breathe during this time. It is the loss of the king oak. You are supposed to be celebrating the death and rebirth of life. That's why it happens every year. And you fucking Christians decided, oh, that's a cute idea, I'ma steal that. It's pagan. It's pagan.
That's why you bring a Christmas tree in.
Yeah.
And what are Christmas trees? Evergreens.
Yeah. Next and last but not least, roadkill. That shit pisses me off so much because, one, it shows our society's complete lack of respect for life entirely. Also, it is a giant glaring red flag of our lack of accountability. Like, you killed that thing and you just left it there. No burial, no acknowledgement of its life, no respect for the sacrifice that it just made in order for you to keep moving your car. Nothing. You just fucking left it there. Okay, great. That pisses me off so much.
It really also shows, like you said, like the lack of caring about life. Like, I know so many people who, like, they don't think about animals really as living things, I don't think. Like,
you know
they
what? My fucking sperm donor was the exact same way. He had this horrible ass joke with my uncle's wife at the time about a sacrificial lamb who accidentally ran in front of their car when they were on a trip together, and he intentionally tried to run it over.
No, and I know people, like, well, like, they see a snake on the road and they try and run that shit over.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
That is horrible. Like, why would you... I can't
know.
get on that one right now. I cannot get on that one right now.
I don't know. I am a swerve bitch. Like, I am a slam on my brakes bitch. And I swerve for the fuzzy caterpillars. I see those shit on the road, the little fuzzes, and I'm like, it's a caterpillar. My God, if there's anything that, like, there's a million of them and, like, one is not going to hurt anything. But no, I'm like, I don't even want to do that.
No, absolutely not. I am a wreck my car first before kill another animal type of bitch. And I don't care how fucking stupid you think that is. If you have zero respect for life and you're not trying to avoid hitting someone with your car, I have zero respect for you.
Yeah.
And I don't give a shit if you're mad about that. If you actively try to hit an animal with your car, you're a shit human being and you deserve the ridicule. Fuck you. I don't even care that it just slipped off the camera because people like that deserve that shit. Yeah, so we have gone on and ranted our little asses off about shit that we have no control over.
Yeah.
And now we're all riled up and drunk and hot and sweaty for what seems like no reason. Because what the fuck? I'm not gonna change people running over babies. I'm not gonna change a shitty-ass Christian church. We're not gonna rehabilitate capitalism with this fucking rant. So what the fuck do we do about it? I have a solution for you. It is called scream therapy.
Yeah, fuck yeah, let's scream.
It sounds crazy, sounds a little wild, but I promise you it's helpful, and I've got 4 steps for you in order to give you the best experience of scream therapy that you can have at home. Step 1. Find a space where you feel comfortable to scream. Not all of us want the entire fucking neighborhood hearing us rant. Right? So you want to go someplace where you know you're not going to disturb others. For example, you might go to your bedroom when no one else is home. You might go in the shower and blare the radio and do it there.
Go into your garage, get in your car.
Just wherever you feel ooh, the car's a good one. That's a good one.
Although cars are not soundproof. Just so you know.
Oh, okay, so maybe not my...
I mean, go in your car, but, like, still, like, with something.
Muffle it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Step 2, have something nearby to mute your noise. This could be a towel, a pillow, a blanket, your t-shirt sleeve, anything comfortable that will encourage you to not scare the fuck out of your neighbors, okay?
Right.
That's why we have our little fluff pillows here. This is Callie the cow. I've had her since I was a freshman in high school, and she has been my scream therapy buddy since I was 14 years old.
I just have this.
Cute little elephant pillow.
My mom made it.
Oh, really? That's cute. We're so adorable. God damn it.
Yeah, we are.
Okay, step 3. Ground yourself and get comfy. Go for a position that makes you feel full of energy. A warrior stance is really popular during scream therapy, so spread your legs wide, shoulder lengths apart or wider, and really lean into that shit. Your pain is trapped sound in your body. Okay, so we want to get that shit out and prepare the body to release that kind of pressure and tension.
And not half-ass it. If you're doing a half-ass scream, you're only half getting that shit out.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we have the pillows, people. That's why we have the muffling tools so that we can really get this out.
To call the cops.
Right. No, that like, just complicates things.
Yeah, that you're gonna need to scream again afterwards.
Because then, yeah, they might want to search your house, and then you have to scream again afterwards. Step 4. Scream. go ahead and scream as loud as you can into your muting object, obviously. Let it all out and scream until your heart and soul are content. You think we're crazy? You think we're crazy? I can tell you that I can assure you there are benefits to this. One, it releases the buildup of tension and emotions. That part I feel like is obvious. It also removes all of your mental blocks. Usually if you can't get shit done, it's because you have a mental roadblock up there. And typically those are caused by built up emotions because, again, your emotions leave chemical traces in your body and your brain.
It's part of why babies scream. It's actually like an instinctual thing.
Because again, pain is built up sound in your body. That's why cursing when you stub your toe is beneficial. That's why scream therapy is really beneficial. It will increase your feeling of being grounding. It will increase your feeling of being empowered. It will allow you to let go of this bullshit that you can't do anything about. This is how we scream into the wind, people.
It kind of helps reset your nervous system too.
Yes, that is a good one. I didn't have that on here. You're so smart. That's a good one.
Thank you.
In fact, studies have shown that screaming can increase physical strength by as much as 7%. One psychiatrist also noted that screaming can release positive chemicals into your brain, saying that yelling might actually trigger some endorphins, or a natural high. You might feel calm or even be a little bit addictive. It's actually really similar to a runner's high. You're getting the same effect, but in a different way. So we're not that crazy. And if you would be vulnerable with us and allow yourself to look a little nutso-fuckso for a second, you too would realize, hey, that's really fucking helpful.
Yeah. So go get in your closet with your little pillow or whatever you want and scream your little hearts out.
Yeah, do it. And who knows? You might actually feel better. So don't knock it until you try it. As for today, we are so excited that you joined us on our fucking rant. We hope that you got out some bullshit too. Feel free to take what you need and leave what you don't. And join us in the next chat if you feel like it.
Also, don't forget to check out our social media. We're on YouTube and Spotify, obviously,
and
as well as Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
Wow, we have all the things.
Yeah, we try to cover all of our bases. We try and post helpful content, bonus little footages, bloopers, which we know everybody enjoys.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah. And while you guys are over there, why don't you tell us what's going on in your world? We want to help.
After all, that's what a sister's for. Bye, guys. Just something nice and cuddly to look at while we rant and talk about shit that makes us fucking aggravated.
How do we want to, be...
Are you good today?
I don't think I'm okay.
It sounds like you're having a stroke.
I know, I really do. Fuck, this might be a rough one.
Let's put yours up there too. Let's make everything cute.
Okay.
Perfect. That's so cute. Yes, that is so cute. I love that.
Oh my
Stop.
God. You know, we are coming up on the end of the year here. Jesus. Did you I know how to speak. Okay. And I'm embarrassed. Your other...
That's okay. I want to do mine over too.
I don't know what just happened. My brain was just like, nope. None of that.
Okay, we'll start over.
Let's see. So I have wine.
Okay.
I still have these two margarita
I want
things.
some margarita.
Okay.
I want some peach.
Those may be really bad though. So I think I'm gonna have a glass of wine. Not even an associate's. You need at least the fudging.
Fudging. You're so cute. You need at least the fudging bachelor's. I'm so mad I can't even curse anymore.
Well, let me make it. Ooh, it's like a shameful
Getting hot.
thing. I am too. I'm sweating. The alcohol doesn't help.
No.
I'm so excited.
Suck it. Suck it. Suck it.
Suck it, holidays.
Suck it, holidays. And next time, oh wait. And I gotta pee so fucking bad.